What is the female gaze, and who possesses it? That's not for us to answer, but it ends with us producer, director, and star Justin Baldoni, who had to wade through the minds of feminist language in a deposition back in October. In a handful of new documents that have been unsealed in the ongoing case between his Wayfair Studios and co-star Blake Lively, the biggest revelation from this latest update was this. Baldoni told her he is circumcised before they even started working together. Oh no! I clutch my pearls. The horror. What I just read to you is a direct quote from the media page called The Vulture. And like my last video, people in control and power, in this case, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, are using media to manipulate us once again and shaping a narrative, in my opinion. And like I said in my last video, this is all my opinion, my ideas, my speculations. My goal here is to promote discussion on the importance of this case. I always knew that people in positions of power and control manipulated media and stories and the narrative. But until this case, I didn't realize how bad it actually is. Like, just in my newsfeed, over and over again, these pro-Blake Lively, pro-Ryan Reynolds articles being suggested to me. It's insane. And what really upsets me about this is, in my opinion, and from what I can remember, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have presented themselves as this really fun, go-with-the-flow, relaxing, accepting couple that, hey, your secrets are safe with me. Oh, don't be embarrassed to talk about this. We're very open-minded. Shit, some of the stuff Ryan Reynolds has said to people in public, in the media, or to Justin Baldoni himself, like wanting to get his face tattooed on his perineum. Well, why are these type of things that Ryan says, why are these acceptable? And Justin Baldoni mentioning he's circumcised in response to him and Blake Lively discussing her unborn son. Why is that something that's heavily focused on right now? I want to say it makes no sense, but it does. It does. Because I know that allegedly Ryan and Blake have been manipulating the media, producing their own narratives. But I don't want to spend too much time on this circumcision news story that's trending, because honestly, it's stupid. It's very stupid to give this the time of day. We have to remember too, lately, discussions about whether to circumcise your children have been actually an issue that has come to the forefront and have caused a lot of public debate about it. So it's not something that should be hidden or not discussed. And it all depends on the context of which it was brought up and why. And obviously in this situation, Justin bringing up that he's circumcised into response to Blake about when she's pregnant with her son, that makes sense. They weren't even at work at the time. Like, if you had an employer and say you were, I don't know, on the computer typing up a brief and your boss just came up to you randomly and be like, hey Eve, guess what? And I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, did you know I was circumcised? Yeah. Okay, that's freaking weird. I get that. And facts matter and context matters. And this is not what happened here. And I'm sick and tired of the media and pro-Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds supporters trying to frame this as something that it isn't. In my opinion, it's a whole lot of nothing. It does not pertain to the case. It's not relevant. Sure, they're trying to frame it as an example of sexual harassment, but the context matters. And if that was the case, if we want to frame this as sexual harassment, well then, did Ryan Reynolds sexually harass Justin Baldoni with his perineum comment? Because if this circumcision comment is considered sexual harassment, even with the context, then Ryan Reynolds definitely sexually harassed Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they can't, they keep trying to say, oh, when we do something, it's fine. But if someone else does something, the exact same thing, oh, that's not fine. Make it make sense, guys. Come on. Anyways, what I'm really trying to focus on tonight, what I wanted to touch on, are two things. One, this whole thing about, let's see. Oh, here is a comment made by a person on the Vulture comment page of that article. Quote, according to Baldoni, the female gaze is when you don't let a woman direct the movie that you claim you want to be shot from a woman's perspective. Unquote. Okay, I have a problem with this. According to this person, Justin Baldoni, who, bought the rights to make this movie, that is trying to be an advocate, in his own words, for women, he should have just handed all control over to Blake Lively, Alex Sachs, one of his female producers, that he had no right to take any major role or direction in this movie, the movie that he bought the rights to. Now, this is ridiculous, and I say this as a woman. First and foremost, ask yourself, who wrote the original source material that he drew most of the information and inspiration from for this movie? Oh wait, I think it was a woman that wrote it. Why are we conveniently leaving out that fact? Colleen Hoover, a woman, wrote It Ends With Us. And Justin Baldoni, Wayfair Studios, bought the rights to make a movie out of it. Now, if you're mad at him for not just handing over control or be like, hey, why didn't a female director take over this and make this movie? Well, it actually doesn't sound like you're being really pro-woman at all. Because if you think about it, Colleen Hoover, who wrote this book, she chose Justin Baldoni. She chose her own decision as a woman, an independent woman. She decided that he was the best fit for turning her novel into a movie. And by saying, oh, it had to have been a woman, but she chose a man, you're saying that her intuition, her decisions are incorrect. You're questioning her decisions as a woman. And if you're questioning her decisions as a woman, well, that doesn't seem very pro-woman to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I think she, in my opinion, sold herself out. But that's the discussion for later. I'm not getting into that now. Pretty much what I've been reading in the media lately is just a whole bunch of distractions. And content creators, people that are following this case, we aren't buying this bullshit. It's dumb. It's dumb, and it really insults society's intelligence. The main thing I wanted to discuss in this recording is Justin Baldoni himself. Since a lot of the evidence came out, actual physical recordings and documentation, proving some of the things that Blake Lively has claimed to be true are in fact not true. And there hasn't been a lot of provable evidence that has contradicted what Justin Baldoni has said and or has done, or even how he presents himself. He presents himself as a feminist, as a champion for women, a supporter for women, for their rights. And what really upsets me, I don't know this man, but I can't help but think, what if Justin Baldoni is all that he claims to be? What if he's actually one of the good ones? That he's not just posturing, he's not just pretending, put on a farce of this image as this good guy in Hollywood? What if he's legitimately a good person that wants to help women, that wants to do movies about domestic violence, to start a dialogue about it, trying to help women in those situations? What if he's actually a good person and cares? And then you have someone, in my opinion, like Blake Lively, that comes along and shows him the darker side of some women. Some women are very bad, manipulative, lying people. What upsets me about this is, what if it turns him off from trying to be an advocate for women because of this in my opinion, one bad, horrible woman that is accusing him of being a sexual predator when it's not true, just to get her own way, which is, again, my opinion. What if that just destroys his confidence and destroys his motivation to be an advocate for women? It's just disheartening because I personally believe there are very few people, if he is who he says he is, like Justin Baldoni in general, but mostly in the entertainment business, that want to make a change, that want to support women. And what if this horrible woman that is Blake Lively has, scared off, damaged one of the few good men out there? Honestly, it pisses me off. And that's another reason why people go, false claims are detrimental to actual domestic abuse survivors, to women that have been sexually harassed and or assaulted, by not only making it so people are hesitant to believe women who have experienced this when they come forward, because that in and itself is what she's done, but also to deter good men from publicly supporting women and women's rights. I have to ask, those people who legitimately support Blake Lively, why? I'm sure you could select things and twist things from the information that's available to make Justin Baldoni look bad. And I don't think it does, but let's just say for argument's sake that, he is a little weird or he's done inappropriate things. Are we just putting everything Blake Ryan has done aside? Are you saying the perineum comment or texting him, I'm just a ball buster, never with teeth, blah, blah, blah? Are you saying that that's okay? That that's not sexual harassment? That that's not weird? Forget about Justin Baldoni for a second, even if you think he's guilty. Why is the things they have said and done okay to you? Also, are you set in this opinion no matter what comes forth? If there is more documentation that comes out, what would it take for you to be like, oh crap, yeah, I was wrong. She is not a victim here. What kind of evidence would have to be produced for you to change your mind on this? And if you jump out and automatically say, nothing could change my mind, Blake Lively is a victim no matter what, then you don't really have much of an argument at all. Not one that's based in reality. And I seriously have to question your intelligence, or whether or not you're one of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's bots. Me personally, from the evidence that I have read through legal filings, video evidence, audio evidence, it looks like Justin Baldoni is telling the truth. Now, this is to say, if there is some kind of video evidence or proof, actual proof that a video comes out of him grabbing her butt, doing something sexually provocative, and she's clearly uncomfortable, or if there's evidence that comes out that, he sent a text and I want to spread all these lies to destroy her. If that came out, I would have to reassess and change my mind. I'm not just supporting Justin Baldoni, but the truth. As I discussed before, it seems like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are allergic to the truth. Anyways, with all that being said and me ranting on and on, the main thing here is, even if Justin Baldoni isn't listening to this himself, I really hope that this experience and this horrible thing him and his colleagues are going through right now, I really hope that it doesn't discourage him from continuing to support women and engage in meaningful projects that aim to encourage women and encourage a dialogue on how we can improve rights for women. Once again, if Justin Baldoni is who he says he is, and is one of the very few good ones in Hollywood, well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being an advocate for women. And also, I want to say thank you. Thank you for standing up against injustice. I personally believe that more is going to come out about Blake Lively and especially Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion. And, if people dig deeper, I'm sure things will come out and be revealed that should be revealed of some of the powerful, elite people they're connected with and the shady shit they've all been involved in. So once again, thank you, Justin Baldoni and the Wayfair parties, for continuing to fight injustice. And thank you, Justin Baldoni, and men like Justin Baldoni, for being advocates for women. That's all, everybody. Feel free to leave some questions for me, some comments, some ideas you're having about the case, some thoughts, opinions. Just keep it respectful, and have a good night.